Hey everybody, it's David Britt, your professor for MSOM 602 Servant Leadership. And the first day of class is coming up in 2 days. Today is Saturday. The first day of class is on Monday. So what I wanted to do is give you an overview of the first module slash lesson slash, what else do we call it? Module, lesson, week. So all those words are used interchangeably. All right? So if you've had a class with me before, you know that I make extensive use of announcements. So again, make sure, I have several in here already. So make sure that you go through the announcements, watch the videos. The biggest one here that I did over the last few days is some of you may have purchased the brand new 3rd edition to this book. And so what I've done is the 3rd edition isn't much different than the previous editions, but there are some differences. And so what I've tried to do as I go through the course is to integrate those differences. So if the next time this course is taught, it's all going to be taught versus 3rd edition. But in the meantime, some of you have earlier editions. I don't want you to feel like you've been cheated. And those of you who have the brand new editions, I don't want you to feel like you've been left out either. So if you have any questions on any of those things and what applies or where something is found or those types of things, make sure you reach out and chat with me. So let's go over here to learning modules, and week 1 starts Monday. So let's go down to read and study. And what you're going to see here in the read and study section will be the textbook readings. Chapter 1 is your organization high performing. Chapter 2, the power of vision. And then you'll see the lecture. Now the lecture is going to be written with the old version in mind, but again the topics are the same. This talks about leadership. It talks about what is leading at a higher level. Here is one of the differences though in the brand new edition is Blanchard actually adds one more item to the bottom line in the new edition. So it is no longer the triple bottom line, but the quadruple bottom line. And his new addition to that, which makes some sense, is corporate citizen of choice. Because today, corporations not only are required to be a provider for their customers, they're not only supposed to create environments for their employees and then also provide an investment of choice for their financial stakeholders, but there is this whole thing about being a good corporate citizen. So that rose to the top enough so that Blanchard is now calling it the quadruple bottom line. Since the ones in the older edition do not have that information, we'll call it either the triple or the quadruple for the aspects of this particular lesson, okay? And so that is the lecture for Module 1. I give you a lecture here too on memo exercises, how to write them, how they should be formatted, and all of those particular pieces as well. So the key thing to note here is that I want you to get used to providing information that would be meaningful, but it has to be very concise and very brief, but still has to have impact for your employees. Because think about it this way. Again, if your employees have a question about what you mean about something, they're going to make it up in their own mind. And many times what happens is that what they make up in their mind and what your intention is may be two totally different things. And so from a memo exercise perspective, I have a 3-point strategy of answering what, why, and how, or so what. And then there's one other piece too that I think is always important in communicating to your people is for them to see your commitment. So you may even add another aspect here for commitment. But make sure that you're very clear in those memo exercises. And when you get finished writing one of them, I always encourage you to maybe hand it off to someone, have them read it, and then have them give you the top points, what you're trying to get across. And if you do that and they understand it, then perhaps you've written a good memo. Okay? And then each week I'm going to have some videos that you'll see. This one happens to be about transcending the bottom line. I provided for you a template here for memo exercises for interoffice memos. You can use that or you can create one on your own. I don't care. but I just wanted to provide you one. And then I wanted to remind everyone for the assignments that you have each week, you need to write it in APA. So it needs to have a cover page, an abstract, an introduction, body headings, a conclusion, and a reference page. So make sure that you focus on that, and I've provided that sample APA paper here for you as well. Okay, so let's go down and see what you have to deliver the first week. You've got a discussion board introduction where you have one initial post by Thursday, and then you have a minimum of 2 response posts by Sunday. If you've had courses in the CAPS program, you're used to those. You have a discussion this week. This is the only week you have 2 discussions because of the introduction, but this one you have a question about vision. And then the assignment this week is about high-performing organizations. And so I want you to describe the triple bottom line, and for those of you who have Blanchard's 3rd edition, you can talk about the quadruple bottom line. And so what is the scores model? How can a company be focused on those? And so make sure you write that in the form of a paper, do some outside research on that as well. You'll find quite a bit, by the way, on triple bottom line and those things. And then the memo exercise that you're writing for your team this week talks about a vision statement. So what I want you to do is to develop a vision statement for your department or for your company, and then share it with your employees. And again, focus on those 3 things, what, why, and how, or the last one being so what. So what's in it for you? What's in it for the employee? Okay? And make sure that you're very clear on those. All right? Well, welcome to the course again. Hope Module 1 gets off to a good start for you. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out and contact me. All right? Take care.